Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Legal Insights episode of Roofing Contractors Best of Success podcast show. I'm RC Editor-in-Chief Art Eisner, and as always, I'm glad to be joined today by Trent Cotney, partner with Adams and Reese. How you doing today, Trent?
Doing great. How about you?
Great. All right. Well, as you know, there's no real downtime for the roofing industry or construction industry when it comes to news, which is good for me. But there have been some real interesting headlines recently that captured the attention of our readers. One is the recent ruling over employee representation rights during an OSHA inspection, or commonly known as the worker walk around rule. That's a lot to say real fast. Uh, Trent, what does the recent decision mean for contractors, and why was it so controversial?
Yeah, so the final walk around rule, it came out, after months and months and months of, back and forth and stakeholder opinions, things of that nature. Came out April 1st, 2024. Doesn't go into effect until May 31st, 2024. The reason why it is controversial is because it allows a third party, even a non-employee, to participate in the walk around if the OSHA inspector deems that it could be, beneficial for purposes of the inspection. So, this raises a whole host of issues, everything from liability to, maintaining, trade secrets and proprietary information that might be on job sites, all different kinds of potential issues if you've got someone unrelated to the project out on that site participating in a government agency action. So, very interesting. I anticipate that there will be challenges once this thing starts getting implemented. But yes, it is, April 1st came out in effect, May 31st. So definitely something that contractors and trades need to be aware of.
Was part of the reasoning for this in order to, help protect workers in the times of ocean inspection, or really is the controversy about the fact that you could have these non-construction personnel at the discretion of an OSHA inspector on site?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously I'm biased because I represent roofing contractors and other contractors and trades in the walls and ceilings industry, but the from my perspective, it's primarily designed to allow union representatives to participate, even for non-union employers. There are other third parties that can be invited, either at the employee's behest or at the compliance officer's request. But at the end of the day, I'm not. I personally, the advice that I am giving contractors out there is yes, this is the law, but I would really vet the issue carefully. I would determine whether or not, there's the appropriate liability coverage and what, if anything, this third party is going to add to the inspection that isn't already there. There is one instance, Art, where I could see it, possibly being beneficial is if, it's an owner of the project or something like that, that, may be attending, or an architect or someone that's directly involved with the project. But if it's somebody that doesn't have anything to do with the project, then I'm kind of scratching my head as to why they should, be participating.
Hmm. Is this kind of another example or even a reach of that, pro worker rights attitude we're seeing trickling down from the Biden administration down?
Absolutely. Biden administration, definitely pro-union. I think this is another step in that direction.
You mentioned the timeline there. So, is there an opportunity for a challenge? What in reality can be done before that May start date?
So legal action can be brought to, try to stay enforcement or to challenge it. It has gone through a very long vetting process with, stakeholder inquiries. We've been talking about it for probably a year or so now. So I'm not aware of any things that have been filed yet. But I do think that there are some issues, some significant issues with regard to allowing a union representative access to non-union work sites. So I do anticipate it will be challenged.
Okay. What at this point are you advising any of your roofing or construction contractor clients, to do at this point?
Um, you know, part of any OSHA inspection is making sure that, always tell the truth, you always cooperate, but no one assert your rights. So part of this rule requires that the COSHO, which is the OSHA investigator, identify why they believe having this third party will, benefit the inspection. So I would want them to specifically state the reasons, make sure I'm documenting that in advance. I got asked the question the other day, Art, what happens if I refuse to allow access? Then presumably the compliance officer could obtain a warrant. I just find it hard to believe that a judge out there is going to look at this and say that an unrelated third party has the ability to gain access to a job site. So I don't know where this is going to go. I think my initial reaction would be document the reason and the basis. Make sure your objections are known, and if there are other issues like health and safety, job site liability, or trade secrets or other information like that, consider refusing. I mean, there is an issue there that you would have to navigate, obviously consult legal counsel, but that's kind of where I'm seeing it right now.
Okay, some valuable insight right there. Uh, Another piece of news that's really dominated our space over the past few days has been the blockbuster announcement that the Home Depot was buying SRS Distribution for a cool $18 billion. That's a couple big names, big dollar amount, and just big news all around the roofing and construction world. What was your reaction, Trent?
Yeah, there was some hints out there that this would occur, and I am interested to see what it looks like. I'm very familiar with SRS, worked with them over the years, got a lot of respect for, their management, C-level, and boots on the ground. I've had the opportunity to interact with a lot of customer service credit managers over the years in all different areas. So I think, from looking at it strategically, it gives SRS a much bigger reach, a lot more buying power. It'll be interesting to see how they interface with Home Depot and what products or offerings will change based on that. As our Home Depot has its own, does carry roofing supplies. So I'm curious to see how those offerings will change, and if SRS's offerings will change, or if they'll remain, separate entities kind of moving into the future. So a lot to unravel as the acquisition moves forward, but yeah, definitely big news for sure.
Putting your analyst or keeping your analyst cap on for a minute, what does it say about the health of the building material supply business? To see a mainstream company like this, like Home Depot, really take an interest or really kind of double down here to work into their pro market.
Yeah, I think when you're out there in your, Home Depot, Lowe's, you're a big box retailer, your primary audience is, consumer based, but historically they've also serviced contractors. I think this is a goal, maybe a strategic goal of theirs to increase their footprint and start expanding into the very lucrative and high end, ground up construction world. So if they can tap onto that in a much larger segment, then, you could see, potentially a big umbrella of distribution companies under Home Depot, whereby they're serving both consumers, but also, the contractor sector in a much larger way than they're currently doing.
Mhm.
I think you'll continue to see consolidation here for probably the next year or two.
All right, interesting. Interesting. And perhaps that's a way to keep all those Home Depot facilities, stocked and full for the future, right? That's a big footprint. I was going to ask that next question just on the impact on the overall marketplace. Do you feel this will accelerate that mood of acquisitions, or can the pace even really pick up any faster?
Yeah, I think this is just a sign of the times. The consolidation private equity market for construction still remains strong. The high interest rates hasn't affected it. You're still seeing, we're still, sort of we're not at the crest, but we're still, close to it. And I think that, as distributors take note of this, not just in the roofing space, but in all, contractor segments, it's going to be something that you're going to hear more of, right? I think you're going to see more consolidation, and, there's some competitive advantage to getting big. The bigger you get, the cheaper product is, and the more distribution capability you have, and, the easier logistics become. So, it'll be interesting to see how, Home Depot integrates SRS's current footprint and what the plan is to interface with their current stores, or to just keep things separate. A lot remains to be seen, but obviously big news.
All right, we will be watching. Trent, thanks for all your insight today and all you're doing for the roofing and construction industries. Where can people find out more?
Sure, they can always hit me up on social at Trent Cotney, or email trent.cotney@arlaw.com.
All right, and before you go there, be sure to sign up for our free e-magazine and e-newsletters on roofingcontractor.com so you can stay on top of all the latest news and information impacting the industry. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.